Hello, everybody. I'm an alcoholic. My name is Dan. So I got 9 years sober and I gave into peer pressure. I was just standing there minding my own business and Vicky came up. I was actually bugging Ava. And then Vicky comes up and asked me to speak and I was forced to say yes. So I spent in that last 2 days trying to pawn it off. I asked Buddy, he said no. I called two of my sponsees, they said no. One guy's under house arrest and I was like, just come, I'll pick you up. He said no. So yeah, here I am. Yeah, exactly, right? So I don't even know what to say. All I can say is like all I heard tonight was there was a lot of hope in this room. And because of John's addiction, we're all able to be here today, you know? Seriously, that's the only reason. If I think we're all presented at one time in our lives, if you have an addiction, to either go right or left, you know, either stop it or go forward. I think our God loves us so much that he presents us with an opportunity to get sober. I lived a pretty, I've been whatever. And my higher power gave me the ability to either admit I was an alcoholic or not. And when I admitted I was an alcoholic, the obsession left. I had to learn what the obsession was in Alcoholics Anonymous. I was blessed that way. But I believe that I came in by grace, but I still had to say yes to grace. Like grace is a gift. You can either choose to accept it or not accept it. And it took me 7 years to accept it. And I say this all the time because I think it's very important that it took me 7 years to do the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I owe more amends in alcoholics, like when I was sober, than when I did when walking the street. And I think it's, I know a lot of people that are in AA that are just heavy drinkers. And what I did with those people is I never showed them the respect. I didn't think that they belonged in Alcoholics Anonymous. But we need those people to distinguish that some people don't need the power and some people need the power. I'm in the alcoholic that I need power, right? Because I'm powerless over this addiction. I'm powerless because I have the obsession, and I'm powerless because I have an allergy. And the only reason that I'm able to be here today is because I got a higher power. And I say a higher power because I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous, and as soon as you mention the word Jesus, you're instantly judged, and everything that you stand for is instantly judged. And it's promotion, right? I mean, it's attraction rather than promotion. So I just say higher power, and nobody can get offended with that. And when I speak with people in step 2, I think it's so important that it's just like all you have to do is lay away all your prejudices, right? Have a willingness to believe, and then come up with your own conception. Like Alcoholics Anonymous is all about finding a higher power. That book has no question. There's only questions in that big book, and all the answers come from us, right? So when we get to step 3 and you have to are you willing now to believe in that higher power? Are you willing to believe? And if that person says no, then unfortunately you got to close the book and you got to step away, because it's all about finding that. I'm blessed enough today that I get to go and I get to take people through a step 5. I get to hear their stories and I get to help them. And how do I help them? Even before we start, I have to ask for they have to give me spiritual consent to speak into their lives, because it's a spiritual program. So it's like the spirit can talk to each other. And without that consent, there's a blockage. Because you don't have permission to speak into their lives. And there's so many opinions, I find that it's just full of opinions. And unfortunately, that separates the people. And yeah, that's all. Thanks.